All right, now, has Iran's supreme leader finally given the nod for a nuclear bomb? Now, that question has taken a new urgency after the 12-day Iran-Israel war in the month of June, a war that damaged Iran's civil nuclear sites, exposed its defenses, and also forced a reckoning with Tehran. Now, Israel is saying that Iran is again stockpiling missiles on a pretty large scale, and this comes ahead of a very crucial Trump and Netanyahu meeting that is to happen on Monday. So what exactly are Donald Trump and Netanyahu now planning? Our next report tells you more.
The 12-day war between Iran and Israel damaged key Iranian civil nuclear sites in Iran, including Natanz and Fordo. First, the Israeli jets and then American bombers targeted the sites deep inside Iran. Tehran lost scientists, infrastructure and prestige, but US officials say its nuclear program was set back by only months. Despite that, Washington says that Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has not formally authorized a nuclear weapons program. Washington maintains that Iran is not currently building a bomb and that the program suspended in 2003 remains unapproved. But there is a shift underway. A fresh US intelligence warned that a long-standing taboo in Iran against even discussing nuclear weapons is breaking down, empowering hardliners who argue that only a nuclear deterrent can protect the regime. Claims from Iranian opposition groups and more recently a report from Italian Institute for International Political Studies suggest Khamenei may have quietly authorized work on compact nuclear warheads for ballistic missiles. Just before the war, Iran held over 440 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60%, the highest level ever achieved by a non-nuclear weapon state, and just short of bomb grade. The war appears to have changed Iran's strategic calculus. Its air defenses failed, only its missiles worked. Iranian missiles targeted Israeli cities. The much famed Iron Dome failed to intercept the Iranian missile Salvos. Just a week back, the spokesman for Iran's Atomic Energy Organization said the country has made significant nuclear advances and that developing an atomic bomb would be very easy. However, he asserts that would happen only if Tehran chose to pursue nuclear weapons. Inside Iran, the debate is now public. Lawmakers are calling for a change in defense doctrine. Senior advisors have spoken of modifying Iran's nuclear policy if an existential threat emerges, despite a fatwa that bans nuclear weapons. For now, IAEA inspectors remain locked out of Iran's most sensitive sites and questions linger over where Iran has moved its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. So the question tonight is no longer about capability, it is about intent, and whether Ali Khamenei has decided that Iran's survival now demands the bomb. Israel insists that Iranian capabilities should be nipped in the bud. Netanyahu shared this image showing himself inside a cockpit of B-52 bomber with Trump. All eyes are now on the crucial Trump-Bibi meeting in Washington on Monday. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
All right, now to help make sense of all of this, we joined this broadcast by Professor Peter Kuznick, who's a professor of history and the director of Nuclear Studies Institute at the American University. Professor Kuznick, thank you very much indeed for joining us here in WION. Now, I want to start off by asking you this. What do you make of these reports that have now emerged, which probably indicate that the Iranian Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, may have authorized small nuclear weapons? Do you think these reports are credible?
It's impossible to know how credible these reports are. Israel has been claiming for decades that Iran was working on a nuclear bomb. The CIA said that Iran gave up its nuclear weapons program back in 2003. More recently, the U.S. intelligence community has said that Iran had not resumed the weapons program, the nuclear weapons program. So the bombing began by Israel on June 13th, and then the United States weighed in on June 22nd. and did a lot of damage to Fordow, to Isfahan, to other sites there. Now, the Arakchi, the Iranian foreign minister, said that they have reconstituted their programs, that they've rebuilt at least some of their facilities, and that their missiles and other programs are doing quite well. We know that Netanyahu is coming to Mar-a-Lago on Monday to meet with Trump. And that there's been a lot of reports, more credible reports than this Italian report, that Israel is looking for a pretext to bomb Iran again. Now, if this report is at all credible, it would give Israel the pretext that it wants to restart the war with Iran.
Right.
But Iran has medium-range missiles and drones that were somewhat effective in piercing Israel's Iron Dome defense. So that would be very, very dangerous again if this happens.
All right. Now, also what is important is the context in which all of this is happening. Just earlier this week, Netanyahu's office, the Prime Minister's office in Israel, released an AI-generated video of Netanyahu and Donald Trump sitting in a B-2 bomber and flying off. And the fact that these reports that Iran is just a few weeks away, few days away from making a nuclear bomb, and the fact that there has been strident rhetoric against Iran, do you think this may push the Iranians to actually reconsider the fatwa that was given by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei banning nuclear weapons and push Iran towards nuclearization?
I certainly hope it doesn't. If Iran tests a nuclear bomb, then we're going to have nuclear anarchy throughout the region. Then Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Turkey will all develop nuclear bombs of their own. But it would take Iran a long time to actually weaponize it. They could certainly enrich uranium to 90% bomb level enrichment within a few weeks. But to actually produce a warhead that was deliverable would likely take a minimum a year and possibly several years. So we're not close to that crisis, but I could understand from the Iranian perspective why they might think that that's necessary for their survival, but I certainly hope they don't make that decision.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Professor Kuznick, for joining us with that perspective there.
Thank you for having me.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.